chances that Celtic created. But again, they had a moment when they're 1-0 down.
The first opportunity they got, they didn't create in as much as. Watch this ball here from the right back. Terrible pass, and this is McGregor picking it up, and with a bit more power to the finish and a bit more conviction. He didn't seem to have the conviction to go and score the goal. And this was a great chance from Dembele. Great ball in, and he's free. Doesn't seem to be able to get any power. He probably would have been better off glancing it, letting it hit the side of his head and maybe go to the far corner. But that was a big chance. And within a few minutes, Suarez bought himself a penalty, and the game 2-0 then was too much for Celtic to come back. But a great effort by them.
And Eamon, we've more good stuff from Barcelona here for you to describe.
Yeah, they were strolling really for most of the game. Once they got the first goal, they're so technically gifted, the movement's so good, and Neymar, Suarez, Messi, they're very good. And this is Roberto, I think, going forward. I think when they get to the later stages, Roberto, this is Suarez in post, Roberto at right back is a weakness, I think, and they have to deal with that. And I'm not sure they have the zip and the will to do the pressing game the way they once did. I also detect in a certain weariness in Messi's body language. Now I'm watching him most weeks in Spain, but a certain kind of, weariness. I think he's had massive issues off the field, and so has Neymar, tax issues. And there's a kind of, and he's refused to sign a contract, renew his contract, which is 18 months to run. There's been talk of him leaving Barcelona. And the word is that he's leaving because he's hurt and upset about the tax fine, which is 10 million. Might go to Manchester City. But I certainly detect a certain weariness in the team over the last 6 to 9 months. And it'll be really interesting when they get up against the big guns, if there are any big guns in this competition.
Iniesta's a big miss from him. Gomez, he hardly got a mention, did he, this lad? They paid 35 million for. I was interested to see how he was going to play, but he didn't really get in the game at all. I can't remember him making a telling pass or being involved in anything that was positive about about midfield play. So if they have injuries to key players, I don't think the transfer, the recruitment of the players they brought in this time around is going to be the answer for them. They don't look like they're Barcelona players to me.
Didi, what's your verdict on them?
Well, they won. I think in a team you need competition, and when players can't play, you need to try to adequately replace them and bring somebody in who's near enough, good enough than the ones who's in the first 11. Now, this team 8, 9, 10 years ago, they won multiple Champions Leagues with 13, 14 players. Now they lost in Xavi and Iniesta, lost to icons of Spanish football. Messi's 29 now. As Eamon said, there will be a time where he isn't as effective as he was. And they lost Alves as well, who was a big player for them. So I think if you look at the whole package, I think Mascherano was excellent. I think Mascherano and Piqué, if they want to go deep in the competition, I think Mascherano and Piqué will be key, because
they have to keep them fit.
They have to keep them fit. And if you look at the bench, I don't think there's an awful lot of competition. Players know they play. The right back position, as Eamon said, could become a problem. I wouldn't have them down as winners of the competition this season. I think I'd be very surprised if there wasn't 1 or 2 teams when it comes to the crunch who will beat them.
They're 4 points behind Real at the moment in the Spanish League, and Real.
I'm not firing either.
Pardon? No, they're not firing either. So, I think Didi's tip is Juve, and maybe that's right. But there isn't, you're kind of sad when you see. We were so in love with Barcelona in their pomp, which is 6, 7, 8 years ago. But
come on, that's more recent. A couple of years ago, they won the Champions League when they beat Juventus in the great final.
Yeah, sorry. But I mean, Didi said 10. I was trying to bring it up a bit.
No.
The Wembley in 2011, they were up there.
That's right. And that sort of memory will never leave us.
That Xavi was so important to that team then.
Yes.
I mean, they've not replaced him, have they? Rakitic is a worker. Yeah. He's not a footballer like Xavi was a footballer. Yeah. He's an energetic player. He gets tackles in. But Xavi was a master in midfield.
There was only ever one. He was brilliant. It's time for us to take a commercial.